What is happening, everyone? Another episode of Chat and Pony with Paddy The Baddy. We're in Vegas today. First one we've ever done in Vegas. We have a very special guest with us. We have Eric Nix. Want to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? Eric Nicksick. Yeah, dude. Welcome to Vegas.
Yeah.
Dragon's Lair Gym. Got to check it out yet?
Yeah, but want to thank the Dragon's Lair and the owner for letting us use the podcast studio while we're here.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, he's done us a solid there. But before we get into MMA, you have a long sports career before that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that American football as well. What the fuck, lad?
Yeah, no, it's that's how I started, man. I grew up playing American football. My dad, my uncles, they were all football coaches. So a lot of my youth was spent on the football field, but around great coaching. You know, so for me, I always felt like I was going to get into coaching at some capacity, but always figured it'd be American football.
Yeah. I still don't fully understand American football,
yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's so stop-start. It's not like any sports we have in the UK. Like, I went to the Raiders PI the other day, and I had a tour and that. The facilities are crazy. One dude come up to me, what was his name, lad? He was 6 foot,
at the PI.
6'8",
Yeah.
325 pound. I just looked at him and was like,
holy shit.
Lad, if you ran into me, what the fuck?
Yeah, and these guys can move now. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, back when we were playing, like, if you're a bigger guy playing on the offense or defensive line, you know, they weren't going to chase you down.
Yeah.
Right? Like, these dudes now that are playing, like, D-tackle are running 4.5s, which is insane. Right? So the level of athlete that has jumped in the NFL, especially when I was playing college football, is astronomical, bro. Like, the amount of, like, the talent level is crazy.
Yeah, we were saying the other day, though, imagine, like, the funding what goes into, like, the NFL and the come up with the players and that. Imagine if that funding was in MMA and UFC. Imagine the type of athlete what you'd see in the cage.
Man, like, I've worked with some guys in the past, Patrick Willis being one of them. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was an inside linebacker for the 49ers. He used to come out and train with us a bunch. And I swear to you, that guy could have transitioned right over into MMA.
Yeah.
Like, he was that good, that athletic. And then it's funny because my dad, when my dad's around Francis, my dad's like, dude, why weren't you in the NFL? Like, he could have made a lot more money in the NFL, but he probably would have been a lot more beat up too. You know?
Like, that's the amount that they do get beat up. Have you still got any, like, what was the worst injury you got?
Usually for me it was my shoulders. My shoulders were always messed up. Thankfully nothing with my knees. But later on down the line for me it was concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was concussions. And it was almost kind of weird to say. It just became like a little bit more of a slippery slope. So I wouldn't get them. I was fine. Like, you get your bell rung, you know, you would get, like, you would see all white and stuff like that. Like, you got flashed. But then it would happen more regularly. That's when it started to scare me. And then for me, like, my last couple concussions, which I didn't know at the time, right? At the time, this is 98, 99, around, you know, this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of information for us. Like, we didn't know that. Like, there wasn't concussion protocol or none of that shit. You just were like, dude, man up.
Yeah,
but
you just had one and then played again
exactly.
a couple of days later.
But I knew something was wrong when I couldn't be around light sensitivity. And the biggest thing for me was I noticed I couldn't regulate my temperature. So at the time in Utah, it was really, really high. It was like the summertime. And but I was freezing cold all the time. And then I'd be sweating, and then I'd be freezing cold. So I knew something was up, and that was kind of like where I'm like, man, I think I'm causing a lot more damage to my brain than I am helping it, right? So that was kind of my decision factor on, like, when I should probably hang it up.
So do you reckon some of the injuries are worse in, like, the NFL than they are in MMA?
It's tough to say, right? Like, I mean, in MMA, it's like you're throwing bones at each other's heads, right? Like, at least in NFL, you do have some sort of protection. I think the more devastating injuries that we see are the lower extremities, right? Like the legs getting taken out, or guys tackling at the knees and things like that. But I mean, you know, violent sport all around for the guys. When I look at it from a football perspective into MMA, it seems to me more chronic with the head trauma, especially early on when I first got into the sport in 2006, the way that we trained, right? Like, the sparring sessions were fucking wars, bro. Yeah. And, like, we're leaving so much on the table as far as your career goes, by sparring that way in the gym. Like, you're not getting fucking paid for this sparring session. Like, how many times have you been in a sparring session and be like, yo, dude, we're not getting paid for this?
There's a few times
right?
like when it can get a bit over the top. I know exactly what you mean. Especially, as you say, back in the day, I started training in 2010, so that's a couple of years after that.
Sure.
And even then, just some of the sparring sessions, you just bite down on your gum shields and start swinging at each other. Because we wasn't as educated about it as we are now. And
it was just a bunch of Neanderthals getting together and like, dude, when the bell rings, we're going to fucking try to kill each other until it stops, until the bell rings again. You know? And I think over time, and that was like that iron sharpens iron mentality era with Randy. You know, he had like, I mean, when Randy was getting ready for Tim Sylvia, it was like murder's row of fighters. And then when he was fighting Gabe Gonzaga, and you know, he's moved back down to 205 or back up and down, like the level of rounds that I remember Randy would have was like pay-per-view rounds. Like, you would pay to see these fights. It was like Vanderlei, Vitor, Forrest, you know, Mike Whitehead, like these crazy tough dudes in the room. But every round to me was like a championship fight when you would see these guys spar.
Yeah.
At what point do you change that? Because more often than not, we would see guys get hurt or knocked down or knocked out a week or two before their fight, and then go fucking
still fight.
And they're so fucking stupid, Paddy. Like, Martin Kampman got dropped by Brad Tavares 2 weeks before he fought Johnny Hendricks, and then Johnny Hendricks just like, and then Martin gets fucking flatlined. And how dumb are we not to make that assessment back then?
Yeah,
like, maybe he shouldn't fight. Maybe we pull him out, but that was never an option. Like, we just didn't think like that.
Forrest always says that as well, doesn't he? He said before the Anderson Silva fight, he says like he got knocked out and got a concussion a few weeks out, and he said he just didn't feel right in there.
Yeah.
And then literally Anderson dropped him with a jab.
Yeah.
Because his brain still wasn't recovered from a couple of weeks before getting dropped.
And that was the sparring rounds that Forrest would go through, right? When Forrest was fighting too, it was just like every fucking round was a war, bro. Was a war. And then you're like, by the time you get to the fight, you're already beat to shit.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, like how dumb were we the way we used to train, or even cut weight for that matter.
Yeah.
Right? The weight cutting was even equally as stupid. You know, and then the moment you get done cutting weight, what's the first thing you ate? A fucking cheeseburger?
Yeah.
Like, why are we eating a burger right now?
I used to do stupid shit like that. Like, just go and get a full English breakfast.
Yeah.
And then I can remember I done it stupidly when I fought Vargas. I weighed in. I'd done a big weight cut because I'd been to America not long before. And I can never forget going downstairs in the hotel straight away. In the hotel you stay at when you're in London. And eating a full English, and meet my S&C coach, Paul Reed, who's my nutritionist, come down and just went, What the fuck are you doing? It's like, what are you doing? I was like, what? I had a plate full of bacon and sausage and hash browns, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? You need to drink. You know what I mean? You don't need to do this. I'll never forget getting back in the cage there, feeling fat at like 192 or something like that. They weighed me in before it. It was funny, you know, the UFC weigh you before it. They just looked at me and was like, you weighed in at 156. I was like, I know.
So what's your jump usually when you weigh into what your fight
normally
night
like
is?
I weigh in 156, 155, and I'm at least 180.
By fight night?
Yeah, 182.
Nice.
Maybe even 185.
Like, I don't think people understand how important that rehydration process is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, guys, like now that's almost as equally as important as the weight cut.
Yeah.
You know, because it affects your performance.
I'll be honest, I've done it stupid a few times where I haven't got the fluids back in me first, and I've just thought, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? So, like, this time, like the last few times, I have just done as I'm told. I've done what Paul's told me to do. And the first thing I do is before I've even ate anything, I get like 4 litres of water straight back in me.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are the electrolytes, what the UFC give you. And as I say, I'm always just hydrated, make sure I get all that in me first, because obviously I cut like 13, 14 pound in water.
Crazy.
So I need to get that back in me before I think about anything else.
Bro, I would love to have seen what that cut looked like 45 for you. I wouldn't have loved to see
that was disgusting. Like the Arosa one was bad, and then the one after it, I fought Nad Naramani to defend my belt. I ended up eventually losing that fight. But I when I'd cut weight and I was on weight, I went and got a DEXA scan in the university in Liverpool. And a couple of days after, the doctor looked at it and said, if I would have seen this before the fight, I wouldn't have let you fight.
Crazy.
I was like a pound away from kidney failure.
Yeah.
Something with me liver. He said I had no testosterone in my body. Like, he said if I would have looked at that, I would have said, you are not fighting. And I only found out recently, about a year or two ago, that where I got that DEXA scan dry, that is used in the PI to tell people to not cut, how to cut weight. Like,
that's exactly what they do now.
It doesn't say it's me.
Yeah.
But I found out that it's me.
Yeah,
you know
you're the reason.
Yeah, that I'm the thing in there, the example of how not to cut weight. Like, I used to do it disgustingly. Like, it was bad. Like, I never forget when I did fight Julian, I got a phone call. Like, one of my mates, Wade, rang me. He was like, lad, you're fighting this Julian Rosa off the Ultimate Fighter. I was like, am I? Like, I was in a cave, liquored up, with decks and a generator, like just partying in a cave in Wales, and just get a phone call off my mate saying you're fighting in 4 weeks. And the fight was on a Friday, because it was the day before the McGregor-Aldo. And so that was the Saturday. I was weighing on a Thursday. I had 26 days to make weight, and I think I was 84 kg.
Oh, shit.
And I had to make 66.
Oh, shit.
So I had like 18 kilo to lose in like 26 days.
Did you sober up pretty quick?
Yeah. I carried on with the night, like, but then went home and was like, shit, I've got, what's 18 kg in pounds, like fucking 40 pounds or something like that. I had that much. I was just like, oh my God, have I really got to do this? And then obviously I fucked that up. I'd done the weight cut. The day of the fight, I went and fucking, before we got on the coach, I went and got a hot chocolate and a pack of Ferrero Rocher, and ate them on the coach on the way to the venue, and then gasped bad, and after the fight just spewed up.
That's crazy. Julian said that to me. He's like, I don't even know if Paddy ever even really made weight. He goes,
Lad, I had to go and use the extra time, lad.
Oh my God, yeah.
I had to go and use the extra time and come back to the scales, and like I just about made it. Like that last pound, getting that last pound off.
Did you ever, like, after some of those weight cuts, or even after your fight, when you go pee, has it ever been brown? Like, because of that, like, fucking...
It's been a dirty colour, like,
it's right?
Been, even after I weigh in and I've drank another 4 litres of water where it's not caught up with your body yet, I'm still pissing bright yellow.
Crazy.
Like, until I get the 7 litres back in me. But I'll drink like 7 litres after to get the 7 litres back in me.
And you were saying you threw up after that fight?
Yeah, in the cage.
Holy shit.
Like, I felt like, when I was doing the interview with John Gooden, I could feel it coming on.
Bucket.
Yeah, I was giving one-word answers, and that's not like me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was just like giving...
That pre-slobber just hanging out of your mouth there.
Yeah, and Julian had given me a fat lip as well. I had a fat lip there. I can remember him saying something like, so going towards your next fight, what are you working on? I just went, me diet. And then a few other little questions, but literally, as I say, I was giving one-word answers.
Yeah.
I think that was a dead giveaway, and then I just like went and had to step back and just spewed up all over the canvas. And like, I can remember everyone online thinking it was blood, but no, because it was brown.
It was your chocolate milk.
Yeah. It was brown, but obviously with the camera and stuff, it did look a bit red. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, oh, he spewed up blood, up blood.
Shit.
But it was hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Yeah, dude, I had Uriah Hall damn near die in my arms after a weight cut. We made weight, or he made weight, and we're going on the elevator to get in the elevator in St. Louis. He's fighting Vitor Belfort. The elevator door opens up, and it's like all the fighters that are going down to go weigh in.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, like, Paige Van Zandt is like standing right here in front of me. Uriah walks into the elevator, and like Uriah, and like I'm just looking at Paige's face because I can't see Uriah's face, and I see Paige's face, and she's like this, like her eyes get big, and then all of a sudden Uriah just fucking falls like in my arms, like falls backwards, and I catch him, and I look at him, bro, and dude, his eyes are completely rolled in the back of his head, and he's like nonverbal. He's kind of breathing, but it's like not very good, like not agonal respirations. That's when you're dying, but you're like very labored.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, dude, call 911 right now. And I can't tell you how fast like somebody came. 2 large bore IVs on this dude.
So we didn't end up fighting that time.
Oh no, but like the moment like the saline like hit this dude's veins, he like almost became combative because he didn't know where he was at.
Yeah, just like
he was like, dude, what the fuck, you know? And we're like, got him on the backboard, got him on the gurney, got him to the hospital, thankfully. And exactly, the ER guy was like, dude, your kidneys, you're in renal failure. Like your kidneys are about to shut down.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah, bro, it was the craziest thing I've ever fucking seen. And again, like that was like right when the PI had just opened. You know, so I don't know like if everyone knew what they were doing quite yet. And in that moment, it was no one's fault. If anything, it was like just kind of a mishap or overcalculation or undercalculation, I think, when they came to the weight cut. But dude, seeing that shit firsthand fucking wrecked me.
Yeah,
Scary, bro.
Like, that year I fought Julian, I fought 4 times from April to November.
At 45?
Yeah. Like, I fought April against Ashley Grimshaw, made weight, but then I fought, I think it was the end of June, and I didn't know that fight was going to be so soon. Like, I went on holiday with the missus and stuff and come back and they'd be like, you're fighting? I was like, what? And that was going to be a big cut, but I missed weight. I can remember, I stood up too fast getting out the bath.
Yeah.
And my coach, Ellis, had to catch me. Like, I fell into his arms.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? I was like, woke up, like, what the fuck? And he rang the matchmaker, and the matchmaker just said, he's not cutting anymore, mate. Yeah. We'll just see if his opponent takes it.
Yeah.
And I was quite embarrassed, lad, because I weighed in at like 151. Obviously, I had to be 146. Right. Fight never nearly happened. One of my former teammates at the time had to shout something very derogatory at my opponent in his corner. And they were like, fuck it, we'll fight.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah. I had to give like 50% of my purse up or something like that. But he rocked me in the first round as well. Hit me with a big punch, but I ended up winning that fight. And then I was saying to Cage, I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do 45 again.
Right.
Might have to just move up to 55.
Yeah.
And then the belt at 45 became vacant. And it was like, shows in Liverpool, I was like, I'll make it.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I make it. And I moved in with one of the lads out the gym who's an absolute fitness freak, JP. He had me up every morning running, and I made it, you know what I mean, in September. And then, as I say, I got told 4 weeks out I was fighting Julian in November. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck's going on here? But them weight cuts, lad, they were disgusting.
Yeah.
I used to fight a bantamweight.
Oh, fuck.
I was a lot smaller, you know what I mean?
8 years old? Holy shit, man.
I fought a bantam until I was about 19, something like that. At first it was easy to me because I was only a kid, and then it got harder and harder obviously as I started growing a bit. And I'll never forget, I missed weight by like 0.2 of a pound because the hotel we were weighing in that never had a sauna. And it was like, you've got to get a coach to this sauna. I was like, no, I'm not getting a coach to another sauna. But then the next time I missed weight bad by about 5 or 6 pounds, and Cage always just said, you're moving up.
Yeah.
Like, I basically got told, you're moving up in weight.
No choice.
And then, at first I was an undersized 45.
Sure.
You know what I mean? First couple of fights there, I was small. Same with lightweight. Like, when I moved up to lightweight, I wasn't, like, I'm not like I was now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I moved up to lightweight, and I still, like, when I fought for the Cage Warriors world title at lightweight, I wasn't a proper lightweight. You know what I mean? I didn't have to do a big weight cut. My opponent was huge. Like, I love Cage Warriors, but they can't afford to do the testing like the UFC can.
Sure.
So most of the people I was fighting back then were fucking juice heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The 2 title fights that I lost, I think both of them were on the steroids. And it helped them when it comes to the later rounds, you know what I mean? And I faded a bit. It helped them. But it's all lessons in it, you learn. And now I do, my weight cut's perfect now. Like that, I felt the best in my last fight because the weight cut was easy.
Once you get that down, right? Like that, literally, like for a lot of our guys, that's half the fight. Yeah. You know, just getting that weight down and getting it done right. And then how do you feel after? How are you performing when you're in the cage?
Yeah.
You know, that happened with Dan. When Dan fought Murphy, Dan almost got Murphy out in round 1. And then round 2, like he didn't have his arms.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, dude, I've never felt like that ever in my life. And, you know, give credit to Murphy, he won the fight, but at the end of the day,
that was a very close fight, very competitive fight.
Yeah, very close fight. But it was more the performance thing, right? And like, I've never been a guy that I don't want to wear a whoop. Like, I don't want to know how fucking shitty my heart rate is or whatever else. But Dan,
I'm addicted to it.
Dude, Dan put his whoop in his like pants. So it charted his fight. Like
I've asked before, can I have it on under my wraps?
Yeah. They said no, right?
Yeah.
But he put it like, there's one that now you can wear like in your, like, I don't know if he had put it in his cup or what.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's connected to the skin, so it's
he wore it in the fight. Yeah, in that fight. So like, just wanted to kind of see what the data was, and yeah, he was fucking like, after that weight cut. So did you ever, like, back in Cage Warriors, did you ever IV?
No.
Yeah.
Never. I should have probably, but never. I've never used an IV or nothing like that. I've always. It's probably good now that I haven't.
Yeah,
because
dependent
I can't.
on it.
Yeah,
Sure.
you don't want to be dependent on it, but yeah, I just guzzle water.
Yeah.
And then start getting the food in me.
Yeah, that was like back in the heydays for me, because I was going to school to be a paramedic, and then so when the guys would cut weight and be done with their weight cuts, I'd just come over and just IV
give them an IV.
Yeah. But you're right though, we would just literally, that was our rehydration protocol, was to get IV, put some you'd use a lactated Ringer's bag because it was a little bit more salt in there.
Yeah.
And then shot of thiamine or whatever else you can put in there, B12, or and try to rehydrate them that way.
Some people probably still do them on the sly. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. Some people 100%. Definitely still use them, but it's just something I've never used. You know what I mean? I've never had someone like yourself who could professionally do it.
It might not be very good every time, but I'll find that vein.
Yeah, I always say though, we get paid to make weight.
Yeah.
We all love fighting. We want to fight. We get paid to make weight.
Yeah.
And then the fun bit's the next day. Like, the torture is the making weight.
Sure.
You've got to have it down as well, as you were saying there. If you don't have it down, it can affect you badly in the fight.
Big time.
And it has before with me. I've been affected in fights because of it. So now I have it that, like, it's a science.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And now I have it like that. I feel great when I get in the cage and fight.
It's, you've done a good job too, because I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is to cut that type of weight when you travel as well.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of your fights, dude, you're traveling. You're doing stuff to where the fight itself, or the flight, you're retaining water, and that could put a hiccup in everything as far as the weight cut goes too.
It could. Everyone says that it retains water, but I feel all right when I do it.
Yeah, you're good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The worst thing is, obviously, when you're on a long-haul flight, you're getting given food.
Right. Have you ever fought in like Saudi or Abu Dhabi, in those places?
No.
So the water there naturally has sodium in it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So like when we were, Jeremy Kenny fought in Morocco, and he's like water loading, but you're not looking at the label because it's all in Arabic, And then like he did like a little barcode scan, and it was like, oh dude, this water is like full of sodium. So we're water loading with like salt water.
Oh,
like, well, got to cut that out.
Got to go and try and find some Evian or something like that.
Yeah, dude, Felder's weight cuts were gnarly too.
Yeah.
Because Paul's a big dude.
And I know I've stood next to Paul, and I know he fought at 55, but his cuts to 45 used to be nasty.
I don't know if he ever made 45. He might have early on in his career.
Yeah.
But 55s was where he fought in the UFC for the longest, and dude, it was every time. I cut weight with him the one time when he fought RDA. But just seeing him, like, throughout the fight weeks and stuff like that, when he was fighting and throughout his career, dude, what a gnarly ass cut.
Yeah,
gnarly ass cut. And he never missed weight.
You see me, I stood with him talking to him. He was hitting some pads, and I was just doing a bit of training myself in London in the hotel. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me and was like, how the fuck do you make 155?
How do you make 155,
Yeah,
Paul?
it was like, don't know. And he was like, no wonder I tried to go down to 45 or something like that. That's what he said to me, and I was just laughing. But I don't see myself as that big.
Yeah.
Where obviously everyone else looking at me from the outside and they think I'm big.
Yeah.
It's weird for me because I literally went from being the smallest person in the gym to now like I'm one of the biggest.
You grew into your body though, Have you you didn't spar Daniel at all, Zahuber, at the gym, right? Like,
No, I don't think he was
he came in later that night. But another one, 6'4", big. I'm like, how the fuck do you make 55s, man? Like he's a big body.
6'4", that's big.
Yeah, he's a big 55er, and he was talking to me about moving up to 170. I was like, you're still young. He's 27, but I mean, right now, like, try to get 55 as many times as you can.
Yeah. Eventually, I think I might have to move up to welterweight when I get a bit older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
How old
are you right now?
30.
Yeah.
The weight cuts, everyone says when you're older it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet for me where I've got the science down. It's getting easier and easier.
Yeah.
But you never know. In the next few years,
Yeah,
it might
for
get
sure.
hard for me. I might have to go to welterweight.
Yeah.
I want to win the lightweight belt and then go up and win the welterweight belt. So eventually, I would like to go to welterweight, but obviously, got shit to do at 55.
You had a big
first.
night last night, my man.
Yeah, need to keep making that weight, lad. Make sure I make it. So I'm on championship weight.
Yeah.
And I can punch that little gremlin's head in.
Yeah. You excited for that? I mean, dude, I think that's the fight to make.
I think it's the fight to make. You know, Ilya himself said he wants it.
Sure.
I've wanted it for a long time.
Dude, the steam is on it, right? Like, make the fight happen right now because all the stars are aligned.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why go out and fight somebody else and maybe squander that opportunity?
Yeah, and risk.
Right? Like, risk it.
Risk
Like,
something
fuck
happening.
that, dude.
That's what I mean.
You know? Like, I was talking to Bilal about that when, I can't remember who, they wanted Bilal to fight Usman before Bilal fought for the title. I'm like, why risk fighting Usman?
Yeah.
Right? Not saying you can't beat any of these guys, but why risk it? Because we've seen it happen before.
Yeah, we have.
I remember
Pettis was a big one.
yeah.
Of that.
Who's the girl? Joanne Calderwood, right? Like,
Yeah.
she was supposed to fight Valentina, and then Valentina got hurt. Instead, she fought Jennifer Maia.
Yeah,
She got
and lost.
armbarred.
Yeah.
And then never came close to fighting for a title again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why risk it?
As you say, when the stars align, you need to take advantage of that.
Dude, remember I think it was like Floyd and Pacquiao when that was supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And then it didn't happen. And then Pacquiao got knocked out.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck, that whole fight just kind of got ruined. The luster
just-
got ruined. You know, it's like, yeah, this is the fight to make, man.
Same with, I always think of Holly Holm with that.
Oh, yeah.
When Misha beat her.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, she could have just sat out and waited for the biggest
Yep.
payday of her life.
100%.
against Ronda.
Took the fight.
And instead, it absolutely changed the bantamweight division forever.
Yeah.
Because Misha lost to Amanda.
Yep.
And then Amanda knocked Ronda out and then
Yep.
become the greatest of all time.
Crazy.
The MMA timeline is crazy.
Right? The ripple effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people just don't see that. But, you know, before Armin started chatting shit about me, I said he deserved it.
Sure.
But now he can eat shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve it. He was the only one that got put up on the screen yesterday and got booed.
He's in a tough spot, right? Like, I mean,
You can't piss the bosses off, lad.
that's you know what I hear, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't, as you know, like you
Yeah.
just don't. You don't want to piss off those guys at
Definitely.
all. You know, and but stylistically, I mean, dude, the guy's fucking good everywhere.
Yeah.
and he's gotten better, right? But like you said, does he move the needle for the UFC brass? I don't know.
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
Don't think he does move the needle. Everyone wanted to see him versus Islam, and then he fucking pulled out hours before he was meant to weigh in.
Yeah, right.
Saying he had a bad back. And Dana alluded to it in the press conference after it, that everyone said his back was fine, he could fight. So that was why, like he said, he needs to get back in line.
What do you think it was? If it wasn't his back, was it just a
Weight
cut?
I reckon
Weight
weight.
miss?
But I can just remember Dana mentioning Heather, saying Heather looked over him, a doctor looked over him. Everyone said he was fine to fight.
And like, I don't think people really understand the ripple effect that has on the promotion when you put that much money into like the countdown show, the producing, the this, the this, that. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, Moicano's fighting now.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
obviously it's another fight off the card.
Yeah.
Like, but Benil versus Moicano didn't happen. They still have to pay Benil.
Yep.
Give Moicano a new contract.
Yeah.
He's fighting for
Fighting
the belt.
Islam.
You know what I mean?
4 days notice.
So it fucks everything up for the UFC.
Yeah.
And
So
he still hasn't fought since.
oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah.
I was actually surprised they had him as the backup, but I think maybe just because of
I think they done it purposely to see if he could make 55.
good
Because of
call.
what happened last time.
yeah, good call.
But I got asked about him last night and I just said, keep making weight for no reason, you little bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing with the lightweight division at the minute. Like I proper like Justin Gaethje. He's one of my favourite people to watch. But if we end up fighting, it's just one of them.
Right.
Like I seen him last night, shook his hand and that.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect with him. Where it's different with Ilya. It'd be different with Armin as well, because I don't really like him. But it's one of them, lad. You've got to fight who gets put in front of you.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if it's Ilya, I don't mind if it's Armin, I don't mind if it's Gaethje. I'll fight any of them.
When you're watching those fights, are you watching more as a fan, or are you watching like, okay, what am I seeing? How to break this guy down?
Last night I was watching it as a fighter.
Yep.
Like watching it, like how am I gonna come up against him? How's it gonna unfold? Know what I mean? That was how I watched it last night. I didn't watch it like a fan. With a lot of fights I do, I watch it like a fan. like Fiziev Gagey.
Yeah.
I'd watch that like a fan.
Sit back and watch.
It was 5 weeks before my Chandler fight. I wasn't thinking about anyone else.
Sure.
I was just thinking about fighting Chandler.
Yeah.
So that didn't even cross my mind. I was just sitting there like a fan watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm watching these people to see what I'm going to do.
Becomes a hunt, you know? Yeah, body language, rhythm, timing, see what you could pick up off of. Yeah, I think that's the best part about the puzzle, right? When it's like, how do you beat John Jones? You're like, I don't fucking know, but dude, we're gonna try to figure this shit out. You know, and that's the best part about the game. You know, try to find something to do.
That's what I always say that John Jones was so good at. Game plan.
Oh, game planning.
Game planning, finding a way to win, finding a way to beat the certain person he was fighting.
Very surgical, right?
Yeah.
Like very calculated. He knew the routes, the path.
Yeah.
Randy was a lot like that. Randy will tell you he wasn't the best athlete, the best fighter, the best, you know, in the cage. But I will say, I think he always had the best path to victory or the best plan ahead on how to get to, you know, the best routes that made it possible for him to win the fight. You know, and that was, for me, having him as one of my mentors, I think is a lot of the reasons why I'm here today, you know, because of him.
So how did you cross over from American football into coaching MMA?
Dude, just a booger that wouldn't leave the gym, right? Like, get this guy out of here, so sort of thing. And, you know, for me, and I say this time and time again, it was the team, the camaraderie that I missed the most. I missed the locker room chats, you know, the fellas, and like, but really, like, when you're in this line of work, you're inherently doing something healthy.
Yeah.
And bro, like, we have the best job in the world. Like, we really do. And I get excited to show up to the gym every day for work. Like, dude, like, what better job do we have? And you being an athlete, your career is finite. At some point, you're going to have to retire. That's just part of it, right? And I know at some point too, for me as a coach, that's the same. But at least I get to live through and be around generations of great athletes and great human beings, bro. It's literally like the best job I could ever ask for, you know. And that was really for me. I continued to show up at Extreme. Randy offered me a job about the first year I was there, and it was like, hey, can you coach this class? Like, I need somebody to coach. And bro, like, for me, Paddy, loved it. It was like my baby. This one class, I'm like, oh dude, I'm gonna promote, I'm gonna text people, I'm gonna get people in, and I'm gonna have a curriculum, I'm gonna do all these things, I'm gonna show up on time, I'm gonna be prepared, because it was like my baby. You know, I wanted to be perfect at that one class. You know, my mentality wasn't like, oh, well, how come I don't have 3 classes? It's like, no, I'm going to love this one as much as possible. And I think Randy saw that in me. And then the class was like, you know, 10, 15, 20, and then it kept growing and growing and growing. He's like, well, let me give you a Wednesday class. And then I would have that. And then I would pick up more fighters down the line. And it was really Jay Haran and Mike Pyle were like, dude, this is a great path for you. I think you'd be a really good coach. And I never got into the sport going, I want to be a pro fighter. I just knew I wanted to be around like-minded individuals that were working hard, you know. And my path, my goal was always to be a firefighter. That's what I was testing for and planning on doing. And then at one point, Randy just offered me the gym manager job. I ran a couple calls that, like, dude, I had my first daughter, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this every day and see the shit that I was seeing. You know, like, life started to look different to me, like you and I were talking about with the twins. Yeah. Right? It's like, dude, you have a family now. Is this what I want to deal with on a day-to-day basis? And my heart just told me no. And, like, Randy at the same time was like, hey, do you want to run the gym? You want to be the gym manager here? And that's kind of what I dove into. And then met Robert Follis and had Dennis Davis, had some great coaches that were my mentors, Ray Sefo as well. Yeah. And honestly, bro, for me, it was just showing up every day. And I still enjoy the process. I still enjoy going to work. Every fight, it becomes a different chapter in our lives, you know. So, man, like I said, greatest job in the world.
I'd definitely rather come in the gym every day than running a burning house.
Right?
Definitely.
Exactly. Dude, like, you know, you're in Vegas right now. What's it, 110 degrees outside?
Yeah.
I mean, we could be working construction, bro, or doing some shit outdoors and, you know, the 9-to-5s and trying to deal with that.
That's what I say. I consider myself lucky because I'm still friends with my mates who I went to school with, know what I mean?
Sure.
The joiners, the roofers, the tarmackers, they do all sorts of things like that, lad. Or like little Geordie works in an office, estate agent, like 9 to 5. Like, when I think about them, working on sites and stuff like that, I look at it like, yeah, I'm lucky.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%. But it always becomes about perspective. Like I tell guys, I met the Malcolm Wellmaker kid in Atlanta, the kid that had that nice step over, the 35er. And
didn't he quit his job?
Yeah, quit his job and all that. Dude, what an amazing story. Yeah. And here's what I loved about him. He's in there cutting weight, and he goes, Coach, you got one piece of advice for me? I said, always love signing the posters, right? And I tell all the guys that. Because when you were a kid coming up through Cage Warriors, what was your goal? At some point to get in the UFC and sign these posters.
Be signing posters.
Right? And how many times now, and I'm not saying you do, but we see guys, it's a job.
Yeah.
Now, how many fucking posters do I got to sign? Buh. Right? It's like, dude, that is what you were striving for at one point in your life, you know? So enjoy that, because at one time it goes away.
Yeah, it'll be gone faster than you know it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Since I've had the girls, my dad always said, lad, it goes like that. And I never believed them, know what I mean? And
oh, bro.
I've had them at the
I'm going through that right now. Like, I was bringing my daughter onto the mats when she was first born in a carrier. Bro, I'm taking her to college right now. She's 17. Like, taking her to look at schools and stuff like that. So, you know, we're saying earlier just about being a parent and the changes of your motivation. But the other thing for me that's important about where we get to work is no matter what my kids become in life, whether if they're got into MMA or whatever job they do, I want them to be able to come to the gym and see what hard work looks like.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what they do, but they see Francis Ngannou working. They see Dan Ige and Kai Kamaka and these guys and the way that they train, the way they prepare. You can draw correlations to whatever you're going to become in life just by being around people that work hard.
Yeah.
You know?
People don't really understand how hard we work, to be honest. Oh, think, just get in the cage and swing at each other. They'll never, unless you came in the gym and done like a fight camp or even just watch someone do one, you'll never understand what it's like.
Yeah. And that's why I do like, and I know sometimes people get upset that we let people come in and spar Sean Strickland, right?
Yeah.
I want fucking people to realize, like there's a lot of delusional people that think, oh, I can just show up off the street and hop in a cage and spar Sean or you or whoever it may be. And I'm like, you realize how big of a disservice and how discrediting it is for guys like of yourself, of that style or, those attributes that you just think you're going to walk in off the street, put out your cigarette and put your beer down and come in and spar one of our guys? By all means, pal, sign the fucking waiver. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I had one fella come in, and did I drop him with a body kick? Yeah. I had one fella come in who was just trolling online and they're saying, like, come to the gym then. He's like, sound, come. And he come and I dropped him with a body kick. And after he was like, oh, I just wanted to meet you.
Right?
What? Be
nice
about it
then.
Yeah, just say that. Don't say you're going to knock me out and all this shit.
Bro, you know how annoying that is too? Like somebody will just talk shit and then like you might have the time to respond. You're like, you know what, fuck you. Whatever. And they're like, oh, I actually really like you a lot. I just want to see if you'd respond.
That's why I'm not allowed to run any of my social media anymore. Because I comment back to people and give them shit. And because of that.
I'm a post and ghost guy now, bro.
Graham just says, you are not controlling your social media.
Sure.
Take it off me.
Yeah.
So I don't have any control over that whatsoever. I just send pictures and captions and stuff like that and it gets put up.
Smart.
Can't have another account disabled. Well, they had two disabled years ago.
Yeah.
Can't get this one disabled now. It's not just like it's a money maker now as well as like you need them. It's crazy now the world we live in. You need them like followers to keep up appearances.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It gets you a better wage when it comes to certain things.
That's right. And then we talk about a lot. I think guys are getting fights not because of analytics, but that's big of a reason why.
Plays a part.
Plays a huge part, right? Who's moving the needle? We said that earlier.
Yeah.
So engagements and followers and all those things this day and age, bro, it certainly does matter.
Yeah, it is. Like, a lot of other fighters wouldn't even be getting pulled into the cage or a rank 8.
Right.
To stay down with the champ.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Gamrot, the boring bastard. He's been hovering around there for ages.
And it's not because he's not a good fighter.
Yeah, no, he's a very good fighter, you know what I mean?
Right.
But he's boring.
Right.
And he's got no personality. So no one really cares about him, apart from people in Poland, because he's from Poland. You know what I mean? But when you move the needle, as they say, you're going to get better opportunities. Like, Peyton Talbot's one of them. He was on the main card last night.
Yeah, fought great.
Most of his fights have been on the main cards, and you don't really get that with someone who debuts and then just comes in, and it's because he moves the needle.
Yeah.
People just, it does me head in online when people are like, he should be fighting him. He's the fight to make, because it's not about money, it's about who's the best fighter, when it is about money.
It's about money, guys.
Money makes the world go round.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. You know what I mean? People wouldn't be getting in the cage and fighting if it weren't for money.
That's what we're here for.
It makes me laugh when people say that. Like, I agree with, like, Evloev.
Sure.
Deserves a featherweight title
100%.
100%. But Addy, he doesn't move the needle.
Yeah.
He's boring.
Yeah.
He's never finished a fight in the UFC.
It's tough, man.
Every one of his fighters went to decision. So, how can you say he deserves a title shot over someone else? Yeah. At the end of the day, it comes down to money, lad. Like, people can talk all they want about the best need to fight the best, this and that, but money.
Yeah, that's what
UFC's a business.
It's a business, man. Yeah, it's at the end of the day,
it's just one of them. But obviously, you have a lot of fighters. Is there anything coming up for any of the boys?
Tonight, actually, I go to Tough Enough. We have Kai Kamaka fighting on that card, as well as Kanan. We have Juan Camilo. We have Miles, and then Ray Cooper. Ray Cooper left PFL, so he's going to take a fight in Tough Enough. So basically all the Hawaiian guys that are in the UFC are fighting today for Tough Enough. So we'll have that. A week off. I'm going to go to Newport with the family. As you know, man, it's like we don't have an off season.
No, yeah.
Especially as coaches. I probably have close to about 25, 26 fighters myself. And you know how that goes, man. It's game planning and it's on to the next. And it's, this constant rotation. So for me to be able to go out and spend some time with the family this week is going to be nice. Just kind of take not a week off, but a few days off. And then we go to Nashville for Chris Curtis, home for a day, do my laundry, right? And then back on the road again for New Orleans, and I'll have Zell Huber and Dan Ige out there, as well as Ty Gorder, who will fight Fury the night before in New Orleans. So, and it's just this constant, rotation.
Constant.
Roman Dolidze, he'll be main event versus Fluffy. So, and that's the biggest thing about, for me, having such a great team and a great gym, is that we're able to coach this many fighters because there's so many great coaches throughout the facility. Yeah. And it's important, like, we all know where each other's at and what we're doing and whose role is what. And I think that's what makes the gym so successful.
All the traveling must take its solo. Your family must hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me now, emotionally, knowing that this is McKenna's last year at home and she's going away to college, that is starting to take a little bit of oh man, this went by fast.
Yeah.
The thing about it for me now is okay, I have a middle daughter who's 15, spend more time, right? My little guy who's 8, spend more time. Do the best that you can in the moments that you have it. Those vacations, those family vacations, I mean, you cherish them more now, so because we're on the road so damn much.
See that I love traveling, but I don't envy you there where you're New Orleans, you're Nashville, you're here, you're there. Yeah. My wife would hate that.
Oh, bro. And like we were saying, Brandon, having a good support system and a good wife that supports this career can make or break you. Because if my wife was any resistance to hey, I got to travel again, and she didn't like that, oh, dude, either your marriage is going to crumble or your career is not going to be as good as what you could be, when you don't have that support system.
You got to have that solid support system behind you, or you're not going to get to the heights that you have.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Coaching UFC world champions.
And I feel that a lot. And Henry Hooft and I always joke about when you get nominated for Coach of the Year, it's just not really, we're all Coaches of the Year.
Yeah.
We all
You've won that though, haven't you?
Huh?
You've won that?
I've won 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won 3. MMA
I remember
Junkie.
seeing the MMA Junkie one. That was the one that I remember seeing.
Yeah, Junkie, ESPN, Yahoo, and then some other publications and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I've never won the fighters only one.
Yeah.
The one
is that the big one for
that? Yeah. I think I've been nominated 4 years in a row and I haven't won it. So I'm fuck this goddamn award. No, but the nominations, my point is it's more for your family in a lot of ways. They get to see all that hard work throughout the year, and people are paying attention to what the job that you're doing, and that part's cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for one day to win Fighter of the Year myself.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you mean.
Fighter of the Year, International Fighter of the Year, Champ of the Year. Get them all, man.
Yeah, that's what we're after. But no, what I know your man's got to go and pick his dog up, lad. So I don't want to keep chatting shit for too long.
No
but
problem.
Is there anyone you want to shout out, or any sponsors, anything that you want to give a shout
out?
Oh,
man. I got to say, shout out to my boy, Tony Diaz. He's battling stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma right now. He's been a great teammate of ours in the gym, and this is just something I think as a gym culture we deal with, right? Like, guys get in car accidents and people pass away, and we've had a lot of tragedy, I think, strike our gym in the last 18 years because we've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is another one. It's not a tragedy. It's a battle that he's going through. So, these guys go in and fight in the cage, but there's bigger fights in life, and we're all here pulling for Tony. He goes to Mexico City next week and hopefully gets the chemo treatments that he needs and, beats his cancer. So shout out to Tony. We're thinking about you, man, and we love you, brother.
Yeah, shout out Tony. Get well soon, fella. You're right there, though, just to touch on that. Obviously, we have battles in the cage and in the gym and stuff like that, but health is the most important thing.
100%,
you know what I mean?
man.
Like, I'm scared of getting anything like that, even more so now I've got kids. Like, some of the battles you see people having outside the cage are 10 times harder than what we do in the cage. And that's what Tony's going through right now.
That's right.
So, yeah, big shout out to Tony. Get well soon, fella. But yeah, Eric, thank you very much for giving us your time. You've got to go and corner fighters today, and we've got you up early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So thank you very much. But that was another episode of The Chatting Pony. Nice one for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.